Welcome to This Explainer. You know how Hollywood always shows hacking as some guy in a dark hoodie frantically typing green code into a terminal while a bomb timer ticks down? Yeah, well, the reality is actually a lot more methodical. It starts with meticulous step-by-step detective work. So today, we're diving into the reconnaissance phase of ethical hacking, and let me tell you, it is a completely fascinating, incredibly detailed process. Now, you might be wondering, how do hackers actually know where to strike in the first place? Well, before a single system is compromised or even a line of exploit code is written, ethical hackers undergo a rigorous investigation. They need to build a complete, holistic profile of their target. Think of them as digital private investigators. They're gathering every single piece of public data they can get their hands on. They want to know your company's hierarchy, your server infrastructure, honestly, even what coffee shop your IT manager goes to before they even think about launching an attack. Okay, so here's our roadmap for today. We're going to cover the hacker's blueprint, identifying the target, hunting human intelligence, mapping the digital footprint, and finally, deep dive search tactics. Let's get right into it.
Starting off with part 1, the hacker's blueprint. Every great investigation starts with knowing exactly what kind of information we're trying to collect. You see, reconnaissance isn't just about IP addresses. We actually start by zooming way, way out. It's the comprehensive process of collecting information that spans a target's physical location, the job information of its employees, and of course, the specific web and host details. It's about getting a true 360-degree view. You really have to know what a company looks like in the real world before you can accurately map what they look like in the digital one. This really highlights the massive scope of this data collection. A target's physical and organizational footprint is literally just as critical as their digital one. Ethical hackers are looking for satellite and drone images, or figuring out exactly where the card readers and security fences are located. Why? Because, well, sometimes the absolute easiest way into a highly secure, heavily firewalled corporate network is just tailgating a distracted employee through a side door. Digitally speaking, they want to know what services are running, what ports are open, and if there are any past data breach incidents with leaked data. Every single detail is a potential thread to pull. Moving right along to part 2, identifying the target. Now, what's really interesting here is how ethical hackers find legal targets to investigate. They actually use public bug bounty programs. On platforms like BugCrowd, security professionals can select an authorized target. So a hacker could just go to bugcrowd.com, navigate to the engagement section, and search for a public program, like Tesla, for instance. If they find a critical bug, they can submit it and potentially earn thousands of dollars, completely legally. The golden rule here, though, and this is absolutely crucial, is reading the program details and staying strictly within the allowed scope so you don't end up in jail. It's a highly regulated space where companies literally pay hackers to find their blind spots before the bad guys do. All right, part 3. Hunting human intelligence. Once we have our target, we narrow our scope down to the people inside the organization. Hackers connect the dots by focusing on the human element, because, let's be honest, people are usually the weakest link in any security chain. First, they need to find the email addresses of key decision makers. Think the CEO, CFO, or lead developers. They'll use tools like hunter.io to search by company and map out those exact organizational emails. But finding the email is really only half the battle. Once they have those addresses, they pivot to tools like Dehashed to hunt for breached credentials. Because, even top-tier executives are totally guilty of reusing the exact same weak password, like password123 or their dog's name, across multiple accounts. If their personal fitness app gets breached, that same password might just unlock their corporate email. And this is where tools like Dehashed become absolute goldmines. It basically acts as an enterprise-grade investigation tool that gives hackers deep web access. They can search through massive troves of historically breached data for specific usernames, email addresses, IP addresses, and crucially, hashed and unhashed passwords. It provides a historical roadmap of a target's human vulnerabilities. An investigator can literally see exactly what kind of password patterns the company's employees tend to use. Let's jump into part 4, mapping the digital footprint. This is where we shift from hunting people to mapping out the target's entire digital infrastructure. To map a website, you have to find all of its hidden corners. Finding subdomains is kind of like finding all the hidden doors and windows to a massive corporate house. The formal term for this in the industry is enumerating subdomains, and it is vital for understanding the full structure and vulnerabilities of a target's online presence. A company might have their main, highly secure website locked down tight, but they might also have some forgotten, outdated internal application sitting on a subdomain that is completely unprotected. To do this efficiently, ethical hackers use specialized Python tools like Sublist3R. By just running a few simple commands in Windows PowerShell, this tool automatically scrapes multiple search engines at once, including Google, Yahoo, Bing, Baidu, and DNS Dumpster, to hunt down and list every single subdomain associated with the target domain. What used to take days of tedious manual digging is now executed in seconds. It hands the hacker a massive list of potential entry points to poke at.
So just how effective is this automation? Well, in a sample scan against our authorized target, Tesla.com, this single automated tool quickly returned an astonishing 419 unique subdomains. No way, right? That is 419 potential doors to check. 419 different avenues where a developer might have made a tiny configuration mistake. When you look at the terminal output, you see things like API gateways, staging environments, VPNs, and internal employee portals. Many of these are development servers that were never, ever meant to be accessed by the general public. Developers will often spin up these temporary environments to test out new code, and sometimes they just forget to take them down. This leaves a perfect, unmonitored backdoor wide open for a reconnaissance expert to find. After finding all those hidden doors, well, hackers need to check the locks. They need to know exactly what the website is built with. So they use browser extensions like Wapalizer to instantly fingerprint the website's underlying technology stack. In a single click, it reveals the content management system, the JavaScript frameworks, the analytics tools, and the web servers. Knowing the specific version of a framework is a huge deal. If a hacker sees a company is running an outdated, unpatched version of Drupal, they don't even have to work hard. They can just look up the exact publicly known exploit for it and literally walk right in. To dig even deeper into how the target applications actually function, security professionals use a powerful piece of software called Burp Suite. This acts as a web proxy server. It literally pauses and intercepts the raw HTTP and HTTPS traffic flowing between the hacker's browser and the target application. By turning intercept on, the hacker basically plays the role of a digital puppet master. They can study the raw requests, modify the data mid-flight, and see exactly how the website reacts. Imagine intercepting the data as you check out of an online store and changing the price of a laptop from $2,000 to $1 before the server even processes it. That is exactly the kind of logic flaw Burp Suite helps uncover. Finally, we arrive at Part 5, Deep Dive Search Tactics. Let's look at how the simplest tool of all can be used as a powerful weapon for reconnaissance. I'm talking about Google. In the cybersecurity world, this is known as Google dorking. By mastering specific Google search syntax, hackers can filter out the noise and command Google's immense indexing power to bypass all the standard marketing fluff. For example, typing site.tesla.com limits the search entirely to that domain. But if you add a minus sign and www, you command Google to exclude the main website, which immediately reveals those unique, hidden subdomains we talked about earlier. Or if you type filetype.docs, you're commanding Google to directly hand over Word documents indexed on that domain. These are incredibly often sensitive internal files, like onboarding manuals or network diagrams that someone just accidentally left in a public-facing folder. So, as we wrap up, it's clear that reconnaissance is this meticulous process of connecting public puzzle pieces to reveal a target's hidden vulnerabilities. From mapping corporate emails on Hunter.io and finding leaked passwords on Dehashed, to enumerating subdomains and intercepting live HTTP traffic with Burp Suite, reconnaissance really proves that every single piece of public data is a stepping stone for a skilled ethical hacker. It's all about seeing the big picture before making a single move. Which leaves us with this crucial thought. Think about all the open source intelligence floating around the web today. From your old job titles on LinkedIn to your previous passwords and forgotten data breaches. If an ethical hacker can uncover this much about a massive corporation using only legal, public tools, what does your digital footprint reveal about you? Are you leaving the doors and windows to your own digital life unlocked? Thanks for joining me for this explainer, and I'll catch you in the next one.